Rose and Ladybug. Once upon a time, a shiny red ladybug found herself on a bright green leaf. She had been feasting on aphids all morning on a rose bush and was now quite sleepy. "Where can I take a nap?" she wondered. "Rose," she asked the pink flower near her, "do you mind if I snooze in your petals for a bit?" "Of course not," Rose said. "You are my friend, and friends share." Ladybug felt very secure because she could sense Rose's love. She stepped carefully onto Rose's outer petals and then burrowed into a snuggly place. Rose gently covered Ladybug with one of her petals, and soon the little bug was snoring quietly. Ladybug dreamed of wonderful warm air, full of color and sound and the sweet smell of nectar. When she woke up, she was being shaken. A gigantic human hand was tugging on Rose's stem. Ladybug would have been afraid, except that her friend Rose was laughing. "Ladybug," she cried out, "I have been picked out of all the roses on the bush. We are going on an adventure." Ladybug, however, was not so sure about this adventure, so she hid herself in the place where Rose's petals were tight. She did not want to be seen. Rose and Ladybug bounced along in the gigantic human hand, and while Rose seemed happier with every bounce, Ladybug hid even deeper in the petals. "My whole life I have never seen such things," Rose cried out in joy. She had never dreamed she would be chosen to travel. She stared in amazement at all the different plants and animals of the garden. Butterflies, squirrels, trees, bushes, cats, daisies, bees. It seemed never to end under the blue, blue sky. Of course, Ladybug saw these things every day as she flew about with her gift of wings. She had kind of forgotten how beautiful they were. She peeked out a very little, blinked in the bright sun, then ducked back in. She still did not want to be seen. After a while, Rose started to feel thirsty. Uh-oh! How would she be able to drink now that she had been picked and had no roots? Just when she got so thirsty that her petals drooped sadly, she felt a rush of water. Delicious, clear, pure, cool water rising up her stem. The gigantic human hand had let her go, and she was floating in a large crystal glass filled with water, and sunlight was bouncing around her like the most sparkly rainbow she had ever seen. Suddenly, Rose felt something else swirling around her. It was a feeling, one that she knew very well. It was love. The gigantic human hand was reaching up and putting the crystal glass lovingly into even more gigantic human hands. Rose could not understand the human words being spoken, but they felt exactly like the words she had spoken earlier to Ladybug. "You are my friend, and friends share." Ladybug also felt the deep love. All creatures somehow understand it, and it helped her peek bravely from her hiding place. She crawled right out onto the gigantic human hand, and sensing no harm, but only love, she spread her wings and flew off into the sunshine. She turned to call out to her friend, "Thank you, Rose, for sharing and being my friend." Rose waved in delight as the humans carried her inside. When Ladybug flew back that way hours later, she saw her friend Rose proudly perched on a windowsill, looking out at the wide, wide world. Rose was smiling happily. The end.